Hey guys, I know it's been 2 years since the last time I've uploaded on here. The past 2 years have been crazy. I'm graduating soon from my university, and this past year and a half has been crazy. So I'm pretty emotional right now, as you can see. Um, where I start. So back in the middle of 2018, I was starting my university, my last 2 years, to finish up my bachelor's degree. And ever since then, I've been on the process of just like getting everything situated, personally, financially before I graduate, because I am graduating in the fall. Um, this has been a really hard senior year because, like, this past year, not just the pandemic, but earlier last year and later in the winter of 2018, which I was planning to resume YouTube when I was going to California. I had a crisis go on, which affected a lot. I'm not going to get too much into it. Um, Ever since then, it's just been like a really hard transition. I mean, even now, like with the pandemic and everything, my mental health has always been like, I'm a huge advocate for mental health. I'm a huge advocate for those who are like suffering with like anxiety, depression, as well for those who are like on the spectrum of Asperger's. And this past year has been a really tough one. This past year, I've gained friends, lost friends, as you know the whole story goes. But this past year, early last year, I've almost called it quits. On New Year's Day, and it hasn't been easy since then. I've been seeing a therapist, I've been seeing mental health professionals, and all that stuff, and it just hasn't been easy. And I know I haven't been on YouTube in a while, so I want to like kind of explain what's been going on as of super recently. The past year, it's just been like getting adjusted to university still and everything, and taking classes, how it all goes. So I wouldn't say I didn't have the time to do YouTube videos, but like I just needed some time to like reflect on my content and where I should go from here. And like I've always been a big advocate of mental health, so I want to continue that discussion on new platforms such as Instagram, whether it be TikTok, if you guys follow me on TikTok, or YouTube. So that's where I'm going to be mostly focusing on. And this past year is on the process. Later last year is in the process of getting better. Mental health happens here and there. Like anxiety attacks, panic attacks can happen. That happen here and there a little bit, but I was in the process of recovery when I went to Puerto Rico in December this past year, and got to hang out with family, which was really nice. Got back, and things were piling up. It was a stressful time for me coming back, and it was a really hard time for me to deal with my anxiety. So the stress just took it another level, and then the COVID-19 pandemic, just added more fuel to the fire, and it just became like a huge blaze. And yeah, so right now I'm like thinking of it philosophical a full, y'all know what I'm talking about. I have a more better perspective. I'm still like trying to extinguish the flames from that fire, and it's been since March, when the whole pandemic was officially began. Like, I just remember feeling like a sense of helplessness when I had a really, really bad panic attack. And it was something I don't recommend. I don't wish on anybody, because anxiety and mental health and depression are very, very real. I've dealt with mental health illnesses. I dealt with both anxiety and depression my entire life, along with Asperger's. But anybody with Asperger's syndrome can have mental health issues, which is quite evidential in regards to anxiety, especially. I didn't have the best life growing up. So a lot of that also contributed to what I'm dealing with, and not such a, like, I have family members are very supportive, and I get that, but then there's some people, that are supportive, but they're not as supportive. I'm not gonna name names because I'm not gonna get into that, but just dealing with the trauma that I grew up with, and the traumas of like the stuff I had to deal with when I was in school, when I was young, and like everything. So a lot of that caught on till I was an adult. And when you get to an adult, you feel like you don't have enough time to breathe. And I felt like I didn't have much time to breathe throughout the time I was in school and in college, and now I'm at USF, and now I'm like in the process of recovery. And it's not an easy recovery, what I'm dealing with. So like, I'm gonna give you guys some advice, and this is an unscripted, unedited video. So this is my real words of advice. Like, if you are struggling to make it through the day, like, be grateful, obviously, and have faith, but just reach out and talk to someone. Even if it's just a text. Like, there are times where I try to call people and then they're working, so our best to do is just text, or also just being open. And yeah, so to add on to what I've also been dealing with since March, I've had to go to the hospital quite a few times, and most of it was related to anxiety. I'm not going to get into full detail, but a lot of it was related to anxiety, and it's just very exhausting. And as of today, I'm doing my best to stay calm and stay positive, but there's times where it's just like, I just want to be alone, and I just want to go far, 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 far away. That's how I feel lately. And yeah, like, this stuff sucks. Like, this pandemic just really brought it to a whole freaking notch. So if you are struggling with depression, suicidal thoughts, or like anxiety, just let you know that I'm here to reach out to someone if you need to. I'm also posting the National Suicide Hotline number at the bottom of my video. And because this pandemic has brought a lot of suicidal thoughts, not for me specifically, but for other people that I know. And like, depression and anxiety can really have a huge effect. And I'm also gonna leave the number 2211 for a local resource center. So if you guys need anybody to talk to, I'm here, because we're all dealing with this same situation, but just in different perspectives. You know, even though I take it quite hard a little bit, but that's just me. Um, but no, yeah, for real. Like, if you guys need to talk to someone in here, all right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and go. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.